Who doesn't love a good pocket notebook, right? Let's take a look at the difference between Rhodia and Moleskine. Hello, my name is Linda, also known as Tortagialla around the internet. I love creative journaling and all things stationery. So being a stationery lover, I have acquired quite a stash of supplies. I decided to dive into my current collection to make some videos, to share reviews, and closer looks. I really need to just turn to my existing stationery stash for material. So today I have a Rhodia and Moleskine pocket notebook to compare. To buy these notebooks, the pricing is comparable for me here in Italy. They are both pocket notebooks, 9 by 14 centimeters in size. These two notebooks, they look like they belong in the same category, right? Both are hardcover with the classic ribbon bookmark, elastic closure, and back pocket on the inside back cover. You can see that the Moleskine here has a gray quality control sticker for those that are interested in that. Now the Rhodia definitely has a super colorful pattern on the inside cover pages, whereas the Moleskine is very templated, like all of their notebooks, minimalist with just space to put your contact information and a little bit of Moleskine branding information. Putting them side by side, the Rhodia paper is actually more creamy and more yellow looking than the Moleskine ivory paper. It doesn't look like it, but when you put them side by side, you can definitely tell the difference. Now, the Rhodia notebook is said to be Clairefontaine ivory 90 GSM paper, 100 of 92 pages total. And if you flip through, though, you will see that it has a little note on the bottom about it being Clairefontaine paper every so often. Like every, I don't know, signature of papers maybe. If you flip through, you'll see it, so that's sort of annoying. I don't really understand why they would need to label that so much. And plot twist here, this Moleskine notebook, it's actually an art sketchbook, so it looks virtually the same as any other Moleskine pocket notebook, right? But it's actually 165 GSM paper. There are only, I think, 80 sheets. Is it 80 pages or 80 sheets? And it's meant for sketching, so watercoloring and other media. So maybe this comparison is a bit biased given the intention of these notebooks are probably quite different. But bear with me here because I'm going to do a fountain pen test because I'm toying with this idea of why we don't just use art sketchbooks for fountain pen use. As long as the paper doesn't have like fibers that would get caught in your fountain pen nib and the ink doesn't bleed on the same page, maybe switching to art notebooks in general would simply accommodate all uses, all types of writing utensils. So from general note-taking, ballpoint pen, to drawings in pencil, to painting with mixed media, and even using fountain pens, whether for writing or sketching. So I did some pen tests, my classic set, and unfortunately, the Rhodia was a total disappointment. I was very surprised. I thought the paper was like, Clairefontaine fountain pen paper, but there was bleed through, and it was just quite annoying. People usually buy Rhodia notebooks for fountain pen usage, so I'm not really sure what happened there. But this is not the one that you want. I think it's called Rhodiarama. So it's the line of Rhodia notebooks that have super colorful branding. The Moleskine, on the other hand, performed very well. There was no bleed through. Basically, very slight ghosting if you turn the page over. The paper, obviously being 165 GSM, is thicker, and it's basically doing its job of keeping whatever medium you're using on the page surface. Now, if I compare the notebook's size, you will see that the Rhodia is just slightly larger than the Moleskine. It's because the cover of the Rhodia notebook is almost like a bit puffy, substantial. It sort of extends a few millimeters out of the actual page size, so the whole notebook just takes up a little bit more space, ever so slightly larger than the Moleskine. And you can see it's because the pages inside, like, they're not flush to the cover itself. Now, the writing experience when I wrote on these papers, the Rhodia is definitely like a softer kind of paper. When you're writing and, doing swirls, you can definitely feel that. The Moleskine being thicker paper, it's almost like cardstock, a bit more stiff. It didn't pull or anything, but it definitely had a different feel. But both of them allowed my, fountain pen to glide across the page. There were no, major hiccups in writing itself. In the end, I would say neither of these pocket notebooks are amazing for fountain pen use. The Rhodia just doesn't chalk up enough to the quality in terms of bleed through issues with a fountain pen. It's also like a very loud notebook. Besides the fact that it's red, there are other colors, but just the branding inside and everything, it definitely has a different feel. The Moleskine works, but it's also not like an amazing writing experience, even though there's no bleed through. Usually, fountain pen users, we're looking for, the perfect paper because we want to maximize the enjoyment of the writing experience. So, what do you think about these two pocket notebooks? Do you own one and do you use one yourself? Let me know down in the comments and let's chat about pocket notebooks. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.